What's up, everybody? Stangam here. Going to do a recap video last week ending February 3rd. I got John with me, and what a great week it was. Fourth week, everything did exactly what we thought it was going to do. Everything that we showed you, it did, and it did everything that we said it was going to do. So, with that said, I'm going to have John share his screen, and we're going to do a quick recap. Take it away, John.
All right, how's it going, everybody? It's Monday. We're here on Monday, the 6th February, new month. Yeah, I'm sharing the one screen. Oh no, I'm sharing the right one. It's three on there. Okay.
Yeah, three.
We're sharing the daily screen here, and as you see, I have Monday marked down, which was the 30th, 31st. I guess right here. Right. Monday was the 31st, right here. That's correct. Actually, that's Tuesday. Monday was actually
the blue one.
The 30th. Where we pulled back and then they bought it up. They bought it up off these highs. We had already made a nice move from the 50% down here from this big candle. We were looking to break out. Like I still have the scenario of a head and shoulders going into this into March. Originally, I thought maybe into February we'll into January we'll get a sell off into February, but with the news that the Feds released on Thursday, I want to say, which is the first. I feel like we're more likely going to create a head and shoulders scenario, whereas we're going to take out the highs of this 4,200 right here. We're possibly going to go take out some of these highs and maybe possibly do like a double top up here. We could possibly still go higher than that. A lot of people going for 4,500. I think when people call it, it's usually that it's going in the opposite direction. Going into, like I said, going into that Fed report, it was after all the markets were closed. The Feds announced what they were going to do, and they sounded very dovish. So in that sense, everything shot up, but it shot and left markets behind. Going into Friday, we could see that they wanted to pull back into back to the lows. So actually, this is Thursday. This was Wednesday.
Yep.
So actually, going into Thursday, we kind of saw that they wanted to pull back, but they gapped it on the bottom side, created a gap to hold price up, and everybody just buying it, trying to just go with the flow of buying this. We did hit our 41.91, and we were cautious of that because of the fact that it's one of the fibs that we have here as a 200% move up. So people were going to take profit on an about 8% move from this halfback up here. And they did just that. They were taking profit into London's close. When London closed and the day ended, we kind of closed near the lows. We expected more downplay, but everybody just kept buying into it, to tell you the truth. The next day into Friday, we expected a sell-off back to the downside and to possibly close the gap, which was created at
You're right.
Which was created at 41.29.50. But we never got back down there. There was two reports that were released. The non-farm payroll was actually more than expected, which really didn't affect the market. So we usually just wait until these reports are reported so we don't get whiplash on the way up or down. The play was going into the highs of midnight, and let's go down to bigger time frames that we can see it. So this will be Friday right here. This is going into the report. Report came in. It was actually more non-farm payroll reported higher than expected. It came down. We did not go see the gap down here, and New York sent it back up, and another report was released at 10. The 10 o'clock report sent us back up here, creating a double high kind of scenario, and also creating a halfback right here that we failed. So we knew that going into Monday, we knew that we were going to come down, possibly close the gap. As they opened, we gapped down. First play was go long, and then after that, it was just sell after 2100. Every every indication that we use literally said sell, 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 sell. We went down, we hit the gap. Into midnight, we hit the gap. We bounced a little bit. Midnight sold it. London's open sold it, and then we kind of hit the area that we had for the week to hit, which was really the halfback on the daily, as I showed you before. And it kind of worked out. I mean, it was a back and forth and a struggle, and it was dragging, but we literally hit what we were supposed to hit. There was another price down here that I think got hit as well that we had marked off, but we wanted continuation. The reason we wanted continuation is because we left the market down here that it should be coming down to pick up, um, and we haven't done it yet. So we still expect continuation. The fact that uh, we didn't go see the high into the day, is kind of indicating that we'll probably see that continuation to the downside. Um, we got close to it, but we didn't go see those highs. So if we keep on coming back to this halfback, eventually we'll fail it and we'll come down here in this area where we're possibly going to buy. So that's the recap for the.
But until it fills
Until it fails that halfback,
this area right here, it's still a buy because we're still in a low high. We're at halfback,
yeah.
So we're still expecting to move up. So
yeah, so we could still expect to go see these highs and possibly hit the high and then roll over. They're moving it very slowly. And there is no reports out to next Tuesday. So the possibility of this coming up and making a high for the week into Tuesday, Wednesday into Thursday, it's doable. And we gap down. So we do have a price that we have to go see up here that we haven't hit yet. It's around the 45 area, 40, around 45 or so. This close right here we haven't seen of New York. So once we come up there and possibly fail down from there and fail these highs again, once we come back to this halfback, we should go through it like butter. And we could come back here to the other markets to pick them up.
yep.
And that's possibly the scenario for the week. So it's possibly a move up and then come back down and sell off.
Right. So what I'm looking at is the 44 area. I mentioned that last night in the room in Discord. 44 is my level. If we get above there, we're going to break out. That's what I'm looking at on the top side, and then the bottom side, I'm looking at this halfback on your pink line. I don't know what that price is. I want to say around 15.
Yeah, that's 14.
There you go, 15. That's a number that I'm looking at. If it fails 15, I'm looking for it to go on down to the 50% line. So we got two scenarios. So halfback holds, we're headed up. If halfback fails, we're headed down. So what's our numbers? 24, 55, and 96. Those numbers are always in play. It's going to keep you in the direction along with Stangham line. So that's what we got. You got anything else to add, John?
No, we could drop down to a smaller time frame and see that today all the markets kind of sold it off all the way down. The only one that's been keeping it up is New York. New York's been buying the lows. And it's rightfully so. There is something down here besides this halfback that they're buying at. So it could possibly pop up and then roll over. And I think they're trying to just get more orders in here to see if they get more buyers before they drop it a little bit more.
Right. And also all three markets have to have the same price. So right now they can go either way. They could go up, they could go down. Doesn't matter. Right now, they've got the same price and they're pretty close to the same down here to this halfback. So, I mean, realistically, we're in an uptrend. We got a low high halfback sweep up in effect, but it all depends on this halfback that John's got right here on the pink line that y'all see at the 41.14, 41.15 area. That has to hold for the continuation.
If we break here, so it's going to come now to around these lows. And if you see it, exactly. that this is New York buying, this is New York buying, this is New York buying. You see how it's getting smaller. So it isn't going to be long before New York goes with the flow, but or every other month tells it.
But keep in mind these wicks over here. I mean, I could see them buying half these wicks, so it could hold it. So whatever those levels are, it could hold to there. But yeah, we got targets. We definitely got targets to the
Now,
downside.
as you see, the stagnant line is holding it down right here.
Yep, and we're
So
under it.
if we roll down, it's
Yep.
not that far down that it's going to go before it prepares to make a move up. The thing is that it's got to pick up over here. It's got to come over here. We already know that it has to come here. So the scenario is that we can't get above this high of this price or go see it, then more likely we're going to fill this half back and then come down. Or we go up, reject it, and come back down.
Yeah, you got a lot of dojis in this area. I'm looking at it here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 dojis. So it looks like they want to come back to this line right here, this half back. So if they do let it go off of the pink line half back.
Yeah. So that's the recap for this week. We expected though to continue possibly this move up. It's going to be a slow week. I don't think they want to sell it too aggressively, and they don't want people to get in. So if we do come down, the scenario will be come back up.
Yep.
And if they drop it in, because they have this gap right here. So say that they do come down, they're probably going to come and try to close that gap into Friday. If they come back and close that gap, are we going to hold the halfback that's gonna create on that move up? More likely, and then possibly in Friday make a move up. So it's all depending on if we fail this halfback right here. The other scenario is that we get above the daily. We get above this daily right here, which is kind of hard to see if we get above this daily. I think we pull back. Some weeks that we ran hot like this, we pull back, come back to the lows, sweep down here and take off. So can we pull up? Yeah, we could pull up a little bit like this and then possibly come down. But I think for them to break this scenario for them to break this 41.91, they have to get more people selling into it so they can ramp it up and then burst through a top. And the scenario is there. I think we're possibly still gonna go take out this high or make a double top up here at least, and then create the head for the year. And this will be one shoulder, the head. This is the neckline. As we go into October, you see how this works out. And we'll probably come up here into March. I know I said February after the 30th we're gonna sell, but I think things change with the interest rate. And I think we come up here, make the head, and possibly just do what we saw on the 4 hour, which is reject. We need this kind of rejection right here. Let me take it back here. This kind of rejection on the daily right here. See, that's how we knew this was we were gonna sell some more. And the fact that we're below the high of this candle, we're possibly gonna come down here. All right, that was about it. So we'll play for where it is. Set up, and that's what you gotta do.
Yeah, I was going to say, just rely on the setup. Yeah, rely on the setup. The range boxes are going, our 3 ranges that we use is going to keep you on the right side. So I know we're giving you 2 different scenarios, but the range is going to tell us exactly what the hell it's going to do, period.
And if you look at the ranges from Thursday that we said, oh, this is possibly going to sell off, we're still in the same range. We haven't broken out of the range. We're still in the same range. It is literally almost the same range. Today we hit the bottom of the range, which was 41.05, and then popped up and hit the high of the range. But this was a halfback, and then possibly now we're looking for it to fail the halfback and then come down. But if you look at the range from this area and you set it with this range from Thursday, you see that we didn't go higher. And remember we talked about the fact that we couldn't get above 72. So we're still downtrending from this small area right here. And it's for a reason. And I think this is the reason right here that we have to come back to this area right here. But it literally shows it on the chart. Now, don't get me wrong, people are buying this up because of the Feds, what they said. But they're going to use any excuse to buy it. And then the fact that everybody's saying that, the bottom is in and we're going to go higher, yeah, we'll possibly go higher, but we still need to pull back.
Right. From what I see right here, I'm counting this one as the 1 leg. This is counting as the 2 leg.
Yeah, and then now
in this one right here, this should be our 3rd leg.
Yeah, to make it all the way down.
So they can get it up here to that 40. I drew that line there, but around the 44, 43, 44 area. Like you said, the gap gap close right here. It all depends on that, but everything lining up right there. Everything's lining up.
Yeah,
So
and we kind of saw this going from Thursday into this because we already had the numbers on it. It's just they did that report and it kind of faked out, and then we knew it was kind of going to sell off. We kind of told everybody why it was going to sell off, and it did just that. Once it didn't hold that midnight, it was a wrap for it. And you see, the thing is that there's only a certain amount of time. So the more that people buy or the more that New York holds this up, it's harder to get it down to price. But we've been calling 29.50 for the longest, like, and there was indications in here that said that they did something weird over here that it was supposed to hit down here. It was a lot of things that told us that they were going to sell us into to try to get back down here and then try to close that gap that was
right.
made here. And it did it all today, and then basically like just set up.
And this was the Wednesday range right here. So, we're probably sitting at halfback. This is why they're probably trying to buy it, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going right. They're trying. You can tell they're trying. Look at all the whipsaw action.
It's going. So the setup will keep you in the direction it's going. So if it's going up, you're not selling. So
right, because we sell the highs, we buy the lows. We know our range, so that should keep us in check. But yeah, I mean, so far 4 weeks, the market's done exactly what we've said. Hopefully the streak continues, and that's your daily recap for February 3rd of last week.
Yeah, we're a little bit late this week. We had a couple things to do, but this is almost the same setup. And I think somebody said it today, like, yo, this is the same place as Friday. It was exactly the same place as Friday. Everything was going into 5 a.m., shot up, sold off, came back. If you take away that report, it's the same thing over here. Take away that other report, we literally just rolled over and ended up back at the lows of 5 a.m., which is kind of
this was the close, and this is our close today. Does that not look identical?
Yeah, it
looks identical.
And we popped up. Look, New York popped it up, and then they sold it down. So it ended up near the low spot. Like we said, it could, since we're holding halfback, we could go to the high of that candle.
Yep.
And possibly try to close that gap. If we don't go and close that gap, then we're more likely going to fail the high and then come test this halfback and probably come down where we expect it to go. It's all in what happens after midnight and then until London's open. As you see, if you look into London's open, they've been selling it every day. Sold here, sold here, sold here. I mean, London's closed. They sold every place they closed.
Yep.
Even try to sell at the opens. They sold here good. I think right here, there's the only day they were selling here into the bottom, and then they bought it up because of the report. And then they sold here. They were trying to sell it up here from the highs, and it just reversed. But like I said, I think they're trying to get back down there. They're taking profit into this move, and New York is just, trying to hold it up until London. Like say that we open up below that halfback, and London's below that halfback. You better believe that it going into 5 or 9 a.m. We'll probably be down there. We'll probably be down at the lows. So that's about it. That was another week started. Another week finished from last week. Everything worked out pretty good. And the direction, man, just set up. That's all we got to do. Set up. If anybody needs help with something, reach out. We do one-on-ones. We do help everybody in the group. There's endless amount of people that we have helped out to get on the ball, and now they're starting to see it. Once they start saying things in the chat like, oh, I see this, oh, I see that, then you start realizing that they're getting it, and that's what we want to see. All right, Dobbs, that's about it, brother.
Yep, that is it. And we'll be doing a recap end of the week. And so like John said, set up. It all starts with the setup. Set up. Do the work, and you'll start to see it. All right, guys, peace out. We'll see you on the next one.